Hey, what's going on, Xbox and PC fans? It's Josh back again, bringing you guys today some information, some news regarding Sony. We're talking about doing a PlayStation 4.5, PlayStation 4K, if you will. But either way, looking to enhance the PlayStation user experience in terms of graphics capability. Possibly just for regular games, or also the the PlayStation VR those guys have coming out pretty soon. Those games really require a lot of horsepower, and the current PS4, Xbox One, they're just not up to the task for VR. Realistically, Sony already putting in some additional processing power into the VR unit itself, but apparently it's just a little bit subpar. To other PC experiences like the Oculus Rift or the Vive from HTC, etc. So, looking to put out a new SKU possibly here. It looks like again PlayStation 4.5 or 4K, and what will Microsoft's response be to that? I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Personally, I think that they have heard enough of this. Hey, we put a weak GPU in the Xbox One. We're subpar in terms of visual quality to the PlayStation this generation, which I think it's a marginal difference personally, because they are the same generation of chips. I mean, they're almost identical in terms of they're GCN architecture, AMD chips, and then the CPUs in both systems are, I believe, AMD Kaveri, low power, basically tablet CPUs, 2 quad cores strapped together essentially for a total of 8 cores there, but a little bit faster on the CPU side for the Xbox One, a little bit beefier on the GPU side for the PlayStation 4. But again, I think Microsoft have kind of heard this over and over again, and really, I believe that they, will not make that mistake again. I think that if they're going to come out with an upgrade for the Xbox One, whether it is an external, USB 3.0 plug-in, or if it plugs into the Connect port, or aggregates any number of ports. Whatever they have to do, to get that to work. But certainly there are some options out there for external GPUs. At this time, they just, most of them are going to use like a Thunderbolt 3 connection, which is a much beefier link to your system as opposed to USB 3.0. But who knows that those guys can work out. Their engineers are pretty smart over there, so I don't put it by them to have some kind of an external option for Xbox One users to just stick into the side of their console there and get an upgrade. And they may do a whole other SKU as well. I think if Sony has hardware that's going to be on the shelves pretty soon, as they've already went ahead and pretty much let the cat out of the bag on this one, then it looks to me like they're going to have to use something that AMD currently has available for both CPU and GPU, and certainly there is a lot of room to grow there in terms of performance. AMD have their higher power consumption, much beefier CPUs in the FX line, basically desktop CPUs. In terms of power consumption and also performance, not up to Intel's level of performance, certainly for single-threaded operations, but these definitely have some kick to them. These AMD FX CPUs come in 4 or 8 cores and get some pretty high clock speeds, so they certainly are more powerful than what's in these two systems as of right now with these low-power tablet CPUs. Sony may have to use something that's already out here in the wild as far as GPUs as well, and they have a lot of room they can move up in the performance, kind of food chain. But I would definitely think, that if Microsoft were to answer this, that they would do so in a pretty serious fashion, and they may even go after AMD and say, hey, look, we want what you guys have coming next. We want Zen, we want Polaris. We want the next generation of smaller, faster, more power-efficient chips that you guys have coming down the pipeline. We want HBM memory as opposed, to GDDR5. PlayStation had us outclassed last time in terms of memory bandwidth, and let's not see that happen again. Let's make sure that this box is more and more robust than they can afford to make. So. I think that's going to be awesome. I think competition, regardless of what it is a good thing, and I hope to see that it, pans out really well for consumers in this situation, and that we get some really powerful, capable hardware that'll last us a lot longer than the last 2 years did on these boxes. So, if you guys have any thoughts, what will these things cost? What will they include? What kind of technology we're going to see in here from Sony and Microsoft. Let me know down below. If you liked it, give it a like. If you think it sucked, hit that thumbs down button. Subscribe for more content. Check you guys in the next video. See ya.